So today we're having a Civil War lunch, and we'll do a roll call of those soldiers that died during the Civil War in Templeton, and just pay tribute and all, so they're not forgotten.
Why are you here today?
We are here to honor the Civil War veterans of the town of Templeton, to support the Narragansett Historical Society and their preservation and restoration of all the Civil War artifacts that were donated by the townspeople. And just the treasures alone of the stories and the artifacts that they have are priceless, and I think it's a great thing that the town does.
My name is William Brasini. Well, I'm here because I'm a volunteer for Brian, and plus the Civil War is my field of interest when it comes to studying history. Well, I just like being here. I like helping out. I love getting closer to history, learning more about this, and plus the food's also a plus.
Yeah. How do you like the food?
So far so good, I love it.
Yeah.
Tried everything here, I can tell you that. Favorite part of the Civil War? A question I don't get asked often, but if I had to answer, it would be basically the camp life and everything surrounding it. Like a life of soldiers, how during this time of turmoil that our country would emerge prosperous and enter a new age.
Commander Paul Gertie of the Willie Grout Camp 25 of Worcester, Mass.
Senior Vice Commander Maurice Healy, Sons of Union veteran of the Civil War, Willie Grout, Worcester, Mass.
It's hard to say. I think my favorite thing would be the emotion that I feel when I think about the life of the soldier of the Civil War, knowing my ancestors lived that and their sacrifice. I just feel lucky to be here.
One of the most interesting things is like when you look at a major battle like Gettysburg, which Commander Paul Grady and myself, both ancestors were at Gettysburg. And just to see the positions and what they went through during that battle. Mine survived. Unfortunately, John Grady didn't. He was wounded on July 2nd and died July 3rd. My ancestor was positioned right in front of General Meade's headquarters. So I know exactly which gun he was on and where he was standing at Gettysburg.
As we are descendants of Civil War veterans. I have two ancestors who fought and died in the Civil War. My main focus was genealogy, and I found the sons, and it gives me a way to honor the legacy left by my ancestors in the Civil War. Honor them by decorating their graves and restoring the graves and restoring monuments and artifacts of that generation.
Can you gentlemen explain some of the gear that a soldier would bring into camp and battle?
Yes, this would be a backpack right here, and it would just be like basic items. We don't have any blankets with us, but they would carry a rolled blanket on top here, and this is what they call a haversack, Paul's holy one. And this would, if they were going to go into battle, they would have 3-day supply of food, and they would have hardtack, salt pork,
In a dirty plate.
and a dirty plate. And then they would have, a tin cup, canteen, of course. And then in this backpack is some leathers. I just put in here, but this would be for ammo. They would carry this into battle. They would wear it on their right side.
Yeah.
It's a shillelagh. First sergeant would have this for the lollygaggers. He would smack them in the head with if they weren't keeping up.
First Sergeant?
Yes.
Yep. Give me the order.
Load. He would half-cock the rammer. Put that on there. And then he would come to a shoulder.
Like that?
Oh, the other way, turn it around. Yeah. And then the command would be prepare to fire. then it would go right to a full cock and it would be fire. And that would cause a big explosion. There'd be, 65 grains of black powder in there. And I mean, this doesn't look too intimidating when we stand here. Well, we're just gonna. But if we were like in position, and right at the camera, okay? And they're not too intimidating until you point them at the camera, and it's charge bayonets. And then you just plunge, twist, and rip it out. You gore them.
So you're already at 6 feet.
Yeah.
With a full extension. I'm
And
reaching.
thrust, and you twist and you pull it out. That's how you bayonet a man.
I'm intimidated by it.
It's very intimidating when you lower the point. It doesn't look, but when it comes face at you, it's pretty intimidating.
So, who have we here?
Well, today I'm paying tribute to Captain V.P. Parkhurst, the 25th Mass Volunteers, Civil War. Captain led his troops from Templeton and fought in several battles. Spent a few years in the Civil War, so sadly his wife passed away in 1862 while he was at war. Upon his retirement, came back and we settled in East Templeton and built Memorial Hall, which is sitting where was standing where the Crossroads restaurant is now. And in Memorial Hall, it was featured a post office on the first floor and a general store. Upstairs was a meeting place for dancing and having a good time and events. And on each side of the wall were Civil War frames. And within those frames, each frame held 2 tablets of marble with the names of the soldiers that had passed during the war, whether they were killed or died from other illnesses. So those tablets are here in the Historical Society, and the carriage shed at this point will soon be back inside those frames up in the Grange Hall. The reason they called it Memorial Hall was just for that reason, to have and honor those soldiers that died during the Civil War. Uniform is a first time for me, so it was enjoyable. It feels nice, actually. And I feel honored to be able to pay tribute to these veterans who've served for us, and obviously there's many still fighting for the United States. So, but the Civil War was a different war.
Story to the people. Try to educate people about the town of Templeton and what the sons did for their town and their families.